Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your man Muam Malone back with another one. Today, we're diving deep into the world of AI, but with a twist. We're not just talking about algorithms and data sets. We're talking about building AI systems that are secure, robust, and ready to tackle the challenges of the real world. Think of it like this. You wouldn't build a house without a solid foundation and strong walls, right? The same goes for AI. You need a secure infrastructure, robust security controls, and a well-defined development pipeline to ensure your AI system can withstand the test of time and, more importantly, malicious attacks. We're talking about everything from secure model development and deployment to API security and infrastructure setup. This is a comprehensive guide to building AI systems that are not only intelligent but also safe and reliable. So whether you're an AI enthusiast, a developer, or just curious about the future of technology, stick around because things are about to get techie. Let's get started. First things first, let's talk about the heart of any AI system, the model. Building a secure AI model isn't just about creating something that's accurate, it's about creating something that's resilient. We're talking about secure training environments where your data is protected. Think of it like a high security facility where your model learns without the risk of being tampered with. And then there's the model validation framework. This is where you put your model through the ringer, testing it against various attacks to ensure it can stand up to adversarial pressure. And let's not forget about testing protocols. Rigorous testing is key to identifying and mitigating vulnerabilities before they become major issues. It's like giving your AI model a full system checkup to ensure everything is running smoothly. Finally, a secure deployment pipeline is crucial for getting your model from development to production without compromising security. It's like a secure tunnel that protects your model as it moves through different stages of development. Now, let's talk about secure coding practices. Just like you wouldn't leave your front door unlocked, you shouldn't leave your code open to vulnerabilities. We're talking about writing clean, well-documented code that follows security best practices. Input validation is key. You need to make sure that the data your model is trained on is clean and trustworthy. Think of it like this. You wouldn't want your model to learn from biased or manipulated data, right? And then there's regular security audits. Regularly reviewing your code base for potential vulnerabilities. It's like getting a security system for your AI. It helps you stay one step ahead of any potential threats. And of course, we can't forget about secure coding practices. This is about writing code with security in mind from the get-go, using techniques like input validation, output encoding, and parameterized queries to prevent common vulnerabilities. Now, let's talk about building a security fortress around your AI system. We're talking about implementing robust security controls that act like layers of protection. First up, access management. This is like having a security guard at the door of your AI system, controlling who has access to what. You want to make sure that only authorized users and processes can interact with your system. Next, we have data protection. Encryption is key here. Think of it like putting your data in a vault. It's nearly impossible to crack. This ensures that even if someone gains unauthorized access, they can't make sense of your valuable information. But security isn't just about building walls. It's also about having a plan for when those walls are breached. That's where threat detection and response come in. We're talking about implementing systems that can detect suspicious activity in real time. Think of it like a security camera system for your AI, constantly monitoring for any signs of trouble. And if something is detected, that's where response automation comes in. You want to have automated processes in place that can quickly and effectively mitigate threats. This could involve isolating affected systems, shutting down compromised accounts, or even deploying patches and updates automatically. The goal is to minimize the impact of any security incident and get your system back up and running as quickly as possible. Remember, building a secure AI system is an ongoing process. It's about staying vigilant, adapting to new threats, and constantly strengthening your defenses. Alright, so we've built a secure AI model and put some serious security controls in place. But what about the doors to our system? How do we make sure only the right people with the right permissions are getting in? That's where API security comes in. Think of APIs as the messengers of your AI system, constantly sending and receiving requests. Now, you don't want just anyone sending these messages, right? That's why authentication is crucial. Just like a secure website needs you to log in, API authentication verifies the identity of whoever's trying to access your system. This is usually done with unique API keys. Think of them as digital badges that prove you're authorized. But it's not enough to just check someone's ID at the door. We also need to control the flow of traffic. Imagine a stampede of requests hitting your API all at once. That could overload your system and cause some serious lag. That's where rate limiting comes in. It acts like a digital bouncer, controlling the number of requests allowed within a specific time frame. And just like you wouldn't let anyone bring anything into a secure facility, you need to check the data coming through your APIs. This is where input validation comes in. It carefully examines every piece of data, making sure it meets your specific criteria. Think of it as a security checkpoint, filtering out any malicious or badly formatted data that could mess with your AI. Okay, so we've locked down the entry points, but what about the messages themselves? We need to make sure those are protected too, especially when sensitive data is involved. That's where encryption steps in. It scrambles the data being transmitted, making it unreadable to anyone without the decryption key. Think of it like this: you wouldn't send confidential information on a postcard, right? You'd put it in a sealed envelope. Encryption is like that envelope for your data. It ensures that even if someone intercepts the message, they won't be able to understand it without the proper key. Now, API security isn't a one-time thing. You need to constantly monitor your APIs for any suspicious activity. This includes tracking API calls, looking for unusual patterns, and setting up alerts for potential threats. It's like having a security system with cameras and motion detectors, always on the lookout for anything fishy. And finally, you need to stay updated. API security is a constantly evolving field with new threats emerging all the time. Make sure you're using the latest security protocols, patching any vulnerabilities, and staying informed about the latest best practices, because when it comes to AI security, staying ahead of the game is key. Alright, so we've talked about building secure AI models, implementing security controls, and locking down those APIs, but none of that matters if the foundation itself is shaky. That's where infrastructure comes in, the bedrock of your entire AI system. Think of it like constructing a skyscraper. You wouldn't just start building upwards without a solid foundation, right? Same goes for AI. We need a robust infrastructure, and that's where cloud architecture comes into play. Cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud provide the building blocks: compute power, storage, and networking, all while abstracting away the complexities of managing physical hardware. It's like having a team of experts handling the nuts and bolts, letting you focus on the AI itself. Plus, these platforms come with built-in security features, adding an extra layer of protection. But it's not just about picking a cloud provider and calling it a day. You gotta think about how you're going to structure your infrastructure within that cloud. This is where things like virtual private clouds, subnets, and firewalls become your best friends. They help segment your infrastructure, controlling traffic flow and minimizing the impact of any potential breaches. Now, while the cloud is a game changer, sometimes you need AI to operate closer to the action. That's where edge computing comes in. Imagine you've got a self-driving car. It can't rely on sending data to the cloud and waiting for instructions every time it needs to make a split-second decision. That's just too slow. Edge computing brings processing power closer to the source of data, reducing latency and enabling real-time decision-making. But edge computing isn't just for self-driving cars. It's also crucial for things like medical devices, industrial automation, and even smart home appliances. Basically, any application where low latency and real-time processing are paramount. Of course, securing edge devices comes with its own set of challenges. These devices are often deployed in remote or physically accessible locations, making them more vulnerable to tampering. That's why robust authentication mechanisms, secure boot processes, and in-tamper detection features are absolutely essential. We've covered a lot of ground, from building secure AI models to setting up a robust infrastructure. But now it's time to bring it all together. First up, model development. Remember to bake security into every step of the process, from training, data selection, to model validation and deployment. Don't treat security as an afterthought. It's got to be a core part of your AI's DNA. Next, security integration. We talked about access management, data protection, threat detection. These security controls are your first line of defense. Make sure they're properly implemented and configured to protect your AI system from both internal and external threats. Third, API deployment. APIs are the gateways to your AI system, so securing them is crucial. Implement strong authentication protocols, rate limiting, input validation, and encryption to keep those APIs locked down tight. And finally, infrastructure setup. Remember that solid foundation we talked about? Choose a cloud architecture that meets your needs, implement robust network security measures, and set up comprehensive monitoring systems to keep an eye on everything. Building a secure AI system is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. Regularly review and update your security measures. Stay informed about emerging threats and adapt your defenses accordingly. So that's it, a comprehensive look at building a secure AI system. We've covered a lot of ground, but hopefully you've gained a better understanding of the key considerations and best practices involved. Remember, building AI is exciting, but doing it securely is crucial. By prioritizing security every step of the way, you can help ensure that your AI systems are robust, reliable, and trustworthy.